You want me to do it?
Yeah.
5, 4.
Welcome to Self Reality. I'm your host, Angie, and this is my co-host, Nicholas Leslie Hanlon.
Hello.
He's my brother. He is the host of the Dirty Glass podcast. And what's your wrestling podcast?
Kayfabe Wrestling Talk.
Kayfabe Wrestling Talk. I haven't had a chance to watch, but I'm going to have to check it out. So if you like wrestling, you like drinking, go check those out.
I just remember, if you watch my wrestling podcast and you think I'm wrong, well, you're probably the one that's wrong. Go ahead.
Oh, so it's just who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So we're here, though, to talk about reality TV. That's what this show is all about. And we're starting with one of the beginning ones, Survivor. Nick and I have
OG.
the OG, what I feel like was sort of the almost resurgence after sort of Real World and stuff like that. I just remember Survivor was huge. It brought to light all of the sort of big shows. And we've been watching them all since season 1. So we're on season 47. Today we are going to talk about episode number 4. So let's get to it.
Yeah. High drama episode. High drama. Finally. We got some drama. There's one guy who we all say we hated at the beginning who's turning out to be the most entertaining one on the show.
And who could that be? Of course, I know. I think he'll be on the thumbnail again because, I mean, Rome. I said this last week, though, or like on episode 3. Like, he's good TV. He's got the villainous, but he's kind of dumb about certain things. But I got to tell you, and we'll get into all of it, like, this episode was amazing. This is like, and not just because this season has, for me, been a little bit of ho-hum. This one, the strategies, there was some actual conflict, although still not entirely. Well, no, there was conflict.
Oh, there was major conflict.
Rome and Saul, but we'll definitely talk about that because part of what I like to do here is say why. I don't use this word about myself a lot, maybe more so now than ever. There is a point in this that very much triggered me, and it was during that conflict. So we'll get to it. So let's kind of get started. So I think we both liked this episode.
It was a good episode.
Yeah, it was a strong.
I enjoyed it. There was some new stuff that Survivor brought to the table.
Yeah.
There was, like you said, some conflict. I mean, I watched it very intently. I mean, like I said, like the last episode, I thought things were picking up. The one before this one, because you could tell that Rome was starting to get dramatic, right? So,
which is awesome.
I think we're starting to hit the upswing of conflict and a bit of dramaticism. Is that a word? Bit of dramaticism.
Now, dramaticism.
I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed the little changes. I'm sure we'll go in order, so I'm not going to bring up what. But what do you want to talk about? What do you got there?
You know, they always start with the tribes, right? So Lavo. This is sort of the aftermath of the vote, right? Because that was sort of teeny. That was the who got. I don't even remember from last week. Who got voted out last week? Oh, it was Aisha.
Right.
Right. It was Aisha. And then Teeny, this is just sort of like Teeny tells Saul, like, I voted, I'm the one who put the vote. Remember, there was like a split of votes?
Yeah, because she was so loyal to.
And emotional.
What's her name? She's stepping on her own feet.
Yeah, like
She needs to shut up more.
And then at first you could tell, like, that kind of pissed him off, but then he was very kind about it. That's where I think he's a good strategist. Like, he was like, yeah, I understand. But, you know, he'll note that in his mind.
He's a bit of a stone face, too, so he is hard to read, Saul.
But that's because it's good. But that'll
good thing. He's got a poker face on him.
That'll help him or hinder him, though, because some people don't like it when they can't read the person. So we'll see.
Because they're unpredictable.
Exactly. But anyway, I still like Saul. Teeny, yeah, cracks are showing. She's like, she even admits it's an emotional move and she wanted to be tough and whatever. But anyway, we go to Gada. I have a question. So what's this whole breadwinners tribe? The girls tribe? Like, is that a real, like, Sierra? Okay, so I thought Sierra was with, like, Sam and Andy.
Right.
And so is this just her playing both sides with the girls?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a weird...
Well, breadwinners?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even understand the name. And I understand why the one guy was upset. What's his name? The pretty guy.
Sam got mad. Of course he got mad. Why? Okay, let's talk about that. Why would Sierra tell Andy, who she's not trusted this whole time, over Sam, who's supposed to be like her bestie?
Well, I think she knew Andy was going to go tell people.
But then that puts her under the bus.
That's true. That I understand it. You're right.
Because she's trying to play both sides.
Did Andy do something to gain her trust in that episode? I don't.
Well, last episode episode 2, he gave her or offered, or 3, I can't remember, his shot in the dark, which doesn't matter because he drops it all over the goddamn place anyway.
He just leaves it.
What the hell?
I didn't know you could steal that. I guess you're allowed to steal that.
Can someone steal it from him? Like, is that? I mean, so weird. And anyway, that was kind of interesting. The breadwinner's name didn't make sense, unless it's a feminism thing. I don't know.
Well, that is what it is. It's something to do with, because it's all women. There's a lot of women left on the show, too.
Listen, I'm a feminist, right? But, like, the women always, and I hope they don't, but Sierra is already backstabbing them. The women never stick together, and it breaks my heart. Because men can, not all, men do the same, but men seem to be able to withstand an alliance for longer.
They can get past us. They can get past a grudge.
Ah, good point. Yeah.
And can get past grudges a little easier when it comes to this stuff, it seems like.
It seems like it.
A lot of the women hang on to them, just like Sue.
I know. Well, Sue, come on, lady. Come on. You're oh, okay, so you're flowing nicely with this. Did you know Sue was lying about her age?
Oh, what, 40, what did you say?
She said 45. I'm sorry.
I don't remember her saying that before they showed it there, but if I heard her say that, I would know. Jesus. You could say, she could have said 52.
Yeah.
And that would have been a realistic lie, because she's 60, right?
59, I think.
Maybe 50, 45?
I'd say 50.
I don't know.
45 is a stretch, considering...
That's tough. She looks...
Well, and she looks like she has, like...
She's the most haggard 45-year-old I've ever seen in my life. For a 59-year-old, she looks good.
She looks really good.
But for a 45-year-old, no.
Do you think...
No makeup or anything to hide anything?
Well, I think she actually...
Her neck gives it away a little.
Well, our women's necks always... Men's too, to be honest. Our necks...
Well, there's stuff on... Yeah, I mean...
Like, I got...
That's like me going and saying I'm 32. Nobody's going to believe it. It's not believable.
I could get away with maybe 42, maybe. Like,
I don't blame her for lying. She just took the wrong number.
50.
50 would be the... Yeah.
Or she could have said my age. Say 49, maybe, if you want to be in your 40s. It's a stretch.
It's tough. Even
she's saying she's your age.
I know.
Crazy. So that was interesting. I get the strategy, right? Like, because like they always want to get rid of the older person first. Yada. But then she's got a grandkid, which I know is feasible, but still.
She brought up her grandkid too, right?
Yeah, they were talking about it, and it extends the lie. But can you watch, like, next time you watch, does she have like fake lashes or something? Like, she seems to have very like lush lashes. They must be fake. She must have had them put on.
I don't know. I wonder if that's one of the, like, you're allowed to bring in a couple personal items. Maybe she brought her lash kit.
But you can actually, and I might do this, you can get lash extensions, which I might try.
Okay.
And they kind of come out like, yeah, I think my friend just got them and they look really good. But I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, interesting.
That's the only way, like, because she ain't applying them.
No.
I don't think.
What?
Like, oh, can I bring my lash kit? I don't know, man.
So here's a new thing. The blood.
That's
blood.
That's one of the best things I've seen on Survivor. That's a great idea.
Like, kudos to whoever on Survivor came up with that idea. Because the fact that she had no idea. And I mean, how do you get paint off yourself? You're stuck. She's right as well.
Which, of course, everybody noticed there's red on her. She's like, oh, I did something stupid. Oh, I didn't cut myself, but I did something stupid.
No, I bit my tongue. How did you get blood on your chin?
Yeah, she mentioned biting your tongue, too. I was like, it's on your arm, dude.
But she didn't know, and she like, that was so suspicious. So that was actually, so Survivor, I'm going to, like...
And she bit her tongue, like, doesn't that mess your speech up? Like, I bit my tongue. You ever bit your tongue so hard that it bled? Usually it messes your... But nobody really brought it up again that episode. But it's in their back pocket.
I think it's in their pocket. I actually think the reason they didn't bring it up is because there was so much other things going on, for one.
Because that was a full idol she got.
I know. That's impressive.
Yeah.
like a full idol. But I just her, how she dealt with the whole Kyle thing, I just don't know that she's going to have the wherewithal to use that accordingly. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens.
I think she might get tricked into playing it for somebody, and then she'll get voted out.
Oh, I hate that. I love that, but I hate it.
Which they did to somebody a few seasons ago. Yeah, I don't think Sue handled any of that good. The idol, like, but I don't know, what would you do if you're in her shoes?
And to be kind, like if I put myself in her shoes, I'd be panicked. But I'd probably say, "Oh, I cut my arm." I think I'd probably.
But wouldn't they want to see the scar?
Yeah. So what do you say then?
So what you could?
But then what do you say?
Can you, if you have an extra shirt on, could you wrap it around somewhere? Be like, "Oh, I cut my arm."
Yeah, I get, but I don't think she would have had time.
Like if she had a shirt on, I forget what she was wearing, but she had something else on where she could wrap her arm. I would have been like,
or maybe take your buff and wrap your arm.
Something,
right?
But I would have gone to the lake or ocean or whatever it is immediately. Like it seemed like she like waited around, but at the same time she had to take so much to cover all that shit up.
Can you imagine
wouldn't, like, for me, I would have got the idol, tried to get as much off as I can, and just left, and then get the F out of there. And let somebody else find it before you're even in that area, and then she can be like, "Oh, like, where is all this blood coming?" Like,
yeah,
that's probably would have been my first instinct. Get the idol thing, try and cover up as much of the pain as I can, and get to the ocean.
Well, because it's right at the well, so everyone's there all the time.
And try and go somewhere where nobody's at the ocean. Be like, I was just in the ocean. I need some alone time. What about this blood?
Yeah, that's.
I would have got out of the area.
I would like to know how long it actually took her. Do you know?
I mean,
because they edited that heavily.
Well, she had to cover it all up and put leaves on it and like use her hand. Like what she did was heated herself out more because it put more blood on her, right? Because she's elbow deep in that stuff, right? So just get the idol and get out of there, leave it,
and blame someone else.
What?
Oh, I think it was.
You think it was?
I think maybe it was Kyle. Kyle was over there.
Anything. Be like, wow. Just act surprised.
So, but I'm surprised it didn't come.
She was in a panic.
Yeah, I know. So So that was interesting. That's brand new. And then.
Because nobody else could do that again now.
No.
Like you can't.
That's right.
Like you can get it, but
you can't do that again.
It's hard to.
You can't do the blood thing again. Everyone's seen it. Everyone goes into the show having watched it.
It would have been smarter to be like blue or something.
Well, blood, but
in the car red hand is pretty smart.
And looking like blood, like that's again, Survivor will.
They might do another idol like that. It's just you can't. It's hard to lie about. Like nobody's ever seen that before, so it'll be easy to lie. Next time they see it, they're gonna know it's an idol. The next time, like this time, she can at least blow it off. Like I don't know what it is because nobody knows what it is. Like, at first you wouldn't know it's an idol, these guys, because it's never happened.
They think it's blood.
They think it's blood.
You have to force a cut on yourself.
They could think it's even an advantage. They could think it's a lot of things.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily know what it is, and that's the point. Like, now they're going to know every time that happens, well, it's probably an idol.
Yeah.
Right? So she had a really good chance to hide it and just, like I said, get the idol out. Don't even touch the paint. Touch the paint as little as possible and get to the ocean and use the sand and get it off you. Do a good face scrub because she missed all, because there's no mirrors, so she missed it all on her face because they were like, "Oh, it's on your face, it's your hair."
Yeah,
that would have been me. But at the same time, if I was in her shoes, I don't know.
I might have panicked.
Your heart's beating 1,000. Like
I can feel my heart almost talking about it. Like I would be in a panic. I hope that I would have the wherewithal to leave the scene.
I do think I would. But you just don't know.
I don't know.
You're not in their shoes.
When
I thought, that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, get out of there.
Well, so was I. Said, oh my God, why is she doing that? Why is she still there? How long has she been there?
As a former criminal, get out and don't go back until somebody's like, hey.
Until someone else, like you have deniability. Oh, it's so-and-so.
Oh, right? I was in a jungle.
Oh, and then just like Kyle, right? Oh, I think Kyle was on his own for a while or whoever. So that was very interesting. So now let's go to Lavo. What's
that, red?
Red team. Everyone's looking for the idol. Here's my trigger. This was my trigger.
Oh, wrong, following buddy around?
Yeah. It was gross. Like the whole thing just actually made me feel physically, and it wasn't even.
It was weird.
But it was that he was just arm in arm too. It, like, okay, fine, follow him around, like, and we've seen people do that, and I haven't been that triggered because they follow from a distance.
No, Rome's like, I'm gonna follow you everywhere you go.
Like this, like walking with him, like he's walking with him, and like right in his face. And I found that super. I don't know, like someone getting in your face like that, and you can't have a second.
Rome's got some balls on him. That's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a ton.
Like Rome's like 100 pounds.
And like
he's like a wrestler.
Saul is fit. Like, have you seen him just like move those?
Thick guy, man. He's strong. He works out.
He works out.
He works out, as I would say. He's
a.
But he can't hit. If he hit him, he'd be out.
Well,
so
he can't.
He knows. He knows. Rome knows.
But even without hitting him, wouldn't you be like triggered by someone that close to you? Because also Saul can't push him. He can't physically assault him either. So he's in this really shitty position where this guy is walking like this next to him everywhere he goes. And it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry, that was for me. I'm like.
It was really awkward.
I was so uncomfortable.
It's like watching The Office during the dinner party. It was that awkward. Maybe not quite that awkward, but it was real.
It was that awkward for me because it just, someone to be in your space like that is just something else. So.
But I don't blame Rome for doing it.
No, like I don't.
Because it shuffled him, right? It shook him.
It did. Yeah, I know.
He was doing what he was trying to do. I mean, I've never seen anybody be so brazen, like that. That was so brazen.
In all the villains I've seen on Survivor, that's the most villainous thing. One of the most villainous things I've ever seen.
Yeah, other than saying your grandmother died.
This is more, and you're right. It shook him up. Like I understand why Rome did it. I guess it's for me because I've seen people follow others before. People usually give some space, and to do that, yeah, you're right. He has balls to do that. I couldn't do it.
It's brazen. Yeah, I know.
I actually couldn't do that to anybody. Like it wouldn't even matter size. I couldn't get right up into someone who, and you could feel the tension and the anger.
No, he was not happy.
So it was really like, and he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do you do? He can't physically assault him either. Anyway, you're right. Brazen. I need to flash that. It was the most brazen thing I've seen. Just as a throwback to the last episode, by the way, it was Rupert who stole the shoes.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you're totally... No, I had to check, and I found the pictures.
That was like the first episode.
That was a long time
whatever
ago.
Season.
Yeah.
It was season 15 or something.
Yeah, Big Borough Steel. Okay.
That's the same episode where the girl came back. So it's time they ever brought somebody back. And that freaking scout leader won.
I don't even remember.
And she wore the scout outfit the whole time. She was like 50.
Oh, vaguely. Now it's vaguely coming back to me.
I hated her. Anyway.
Okay, so moving on. So that for me was probably the most triggering. Hate the word, but or it mostly affected me, and I felt kind of gross. Then we're back at Gata. The only thing that I found two things interesting, that Sam.
Yellow.
This is the yellow team that Sam called Andy the George Costanza of Survivor. That was a good comment. I got to tell you.
Anything he does, he needs to do the opposite.
Yeah, that was a good comment because he's dropping his shot in the dark. He's losing all his stuff.
Falling over.
He's terrible at challenges, and he looks fit. Like he looks like he should be fit. He's young, and then
he still looks like a serial killer to me.
Well, he's
just.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Really?
Are we involved? Yeah, this is my normal face. This is how humans look. So he's an alien. I am a human like you. I love these human shoes. I mean shoes. Like that kind of thing. Anyway, he's awkward.
But he brings some interest because he doesn't realize. I don't think he realizes how awkward he is.
Oh, for sure he doesn't.
Like, because he's like, I'm just observing and I'm just pretending to be awkward. I'm like, I'm pretending.
Can I be involved in things? Is it the same face all the time?
Cheer for me.
So he's surprised but happy.
Well, that's creepy now.
Hello. I know, that's what I'm saying.
So this is where Sam, Sierra tells him about the breadwinners And then he tells Sam. So that was the only interesting thing there.
Yeah, he ran right over.
Of course he did. Sam says he's his mentor, right? I mean, Sam just wants to kind of use him, but you never know with a guy like Andy. He could turn something around or make some crazy move. He's volatile still, I still think.
Well, when you got the guy telling you stuff right away, I mean, he's building trust with that guy.
He is, but Andy's all it will take. All it's gonna take is Sierra or someone saying to Andy, "Oh, Sam, put your name out."
No.
Then then it'll be on. So I don't know. Then we get to the challenge. Another, I don't know, 15-part challenge. They roll the cube and they have to throw bags and dig keys and build a puzzle. Okay. Lava loses.
Is that the one where, yeah, the red loses, right?
Yeah, so
and they can't get one piece?
Let's talk about that, because as much as Lava was very interesting, actually.
Wonder if you're allowed to switch out.
You are.
So, and Rome wouldn't switch with someone.
Or stand. Well, he should have even switched with Jen. Or stood up. Or looked like.
The interesting thing about these puzzles this year is that you have to keep all the pieces on a table. Have you noticed that? You're not allowed to spread them around.
Oh, okay. But still,
I'm not saying it.
I think that
didn't drop the ball significantly. I mean, come on.
It was the worst.
Not one piece.
It was the worst puzzle. I think Jeff even said it. Puzzle performance I have ever seen. It's
solved. That's the wrong one, Rome. It's not working, Rome. Do you want to switch?
So I think they could have switched, actually, or he wouldn't be offering. And also, why not switch with Genevieve? And why didn't Genevieve do something? She's a lawyer. She's starting to do some strategizing. You can't. She's just as to blame. I find it interesting that Rome is.
He sat there.
I know he's sad. I know.
Made him look way bad. I mean, she could have said something.
She should have said something.
But at the same time, you're dealing with this volatile guy.
Yeah.
So what do you say? Hey, get up, help, whatever. Let's go back and forth.
Let's try. Well, if you watched all other Gata,
it's another in a panic situation, I think.
Well, Gata won. 2Q came in second, but they had the two people looking at the puzzle, stepping back, taking a perspective, grabbing us. They had two people grabbing pieces.
It's like you had two people that have never done a puzzle before in their lives, and I wouldn't be good at puzzles.
So
I think I get a piece.
I think I'd be good at puzzles.
I think I get a piece.
Of course, Nick. You get more than one.
But
you don't sit. Imagine the perspective of just sitting and looking at that one piece. Why not go and look at the other ones who have finished the puzzle?
I don't know how they went through every single piece and didn't get one.
And Jeff was even guiding them. So if you got to see how it's gonna fit, and maybe basically saying, for the love of God,
do something different.
Step back. And he nailed them with that and at Tribal, because of course they lost, so they go to Tribal.
I think this is why they originally switched to 3, because it used to be 2 back in the day.
Right.
They didn't always do 3. But if one blew the other one out, and that happened quite often, it made it pretty boring. So at least you still had a bit of competition when there's 3. But
that was brutal.
That was rough.
Absolutely brutal. So then they send 3 people for another journey.
Was it Teeny?
It was Andy.
Right.
With his face?
Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm going to tell you everything. Andy, Teeny, and who was the other one?
Caroline. She's the business. She's Sue's buddy. She's the young girl.
Right.
I think she's a business consultant or something. Oh, and one other thing I do want to say, I was shocked. Rome does eat a bit of humble pie twice in this episode. He did say it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was surprised he took any ownership, because I was starting to think he had no sense of ownership, but that was good that made me go, okay, well, I felt he was going to blame Genevieve somehow or something. Yeah.
It was smart to take some blame. I mean, you'd have to learn from that other guy who wouldn't take any blame, who got voted out, first? What was the guy's name?
The podcaster dude.
Oh, maybe he got voted out second.
No, it was the first guy was John. First episode was John, and then it was TK.
Yeah, TK. He wouldn't take any blame. It's all my team's fault.
All he had to do was say, yeah, it was a team. We tried our best. Our best wasn't good enough.
You win as a team, you lose as a team.
And I don't think he would have gone home if he had just owned anything, because he was strong. But anyway, so let's see here. Now, this is full Lavo, because you look, Gata, they got the birds. okay, they got the chickens. By the way, I found that cage too small. Like, shouldn't that cage be bigger for 3 chickens? But anyway.
I think, I mean, maybe he expected them to kill the chicken.
And the whole literal chicken or egg situation.
Yeah.
Did they kill the chicken?
I mean, I would kill one of them.
He said repeat. Yeah, I think I would too.
I mean.
But I wanted, anyway.
But you get 3 eggs a day.
Chickens. So, you know, someone gets the chickens, but we're back to Lavo. And this is where it's more.
Well, it's all red now.
It's all red. Well, no, there's the journey. Let's talk about the journey first, and then we'll talk Lavo, because I think there's nothing interesting aside from Lavo, aside from the journey. So what do you think about the journey? So they go, one person has to say whether or not they'll lose a vote. What did you think of that?
I mean, it's an interesting choice, and they had that. I mean, it puts panic in you because you had that little thing, right? They turned the little timer thing, so you had to do it in that amount of time. I would have probably made a little more of a competition out of it. I would have did some sort of rock, paper, scissors or evens. Nobody suggested that, and if I was teeny, because they were like really pushing her, right? You know, you could do 1, 2, 3, and everybody holds out a 1 or a 2, and the 2 matching doesn't have
or odds and evens, whatever.
Right. It's like I would have done that. Like teeny, like
she capitulated too fast.
She just threw herself under the bus immediately.
And I think that was, I mean, she didn't get voted out, but I just think with the fact that they were going to tribal, I would have pushed that harder.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have been like,
Let's do a competition.
Yeah, like I wouldn't have got walked over. So that was interesting. And they all told the truth, the full truth actually, and nothing but the truth. So kind of interesting, but interesting because Teeny now has no vote. So we're back at Lavo.
Red.
So this is where it gets interesting. This is where, like, this is a fun episode. For me, this is fun because now we're really strategizing. So first it's like, of course, because it's machismo too, right? Like you have like Saul and Rome are sort of battling for that. They're both kind of dominant males. And so, of course, Rome's like, gonna be Saul. It's gonna be Saul. Then Kishan.
Man, he left cards on the table too much.
So he says Jen's name to Saul. And then here's where I have my second problem, my second kind of icky feeling. Rome does threaten Saul. He threatens him, if you don't give me your shot in the dark, I'm gonna vote you out because I can steal a vote. Smart-ish move. Like, he tried to say it was an ultimatum. Like, even Jeff called it a threat in the end, but it was very threatening.
Oh yeah.
Like he came on very brazen. That's a great word, Nick. Brazenly. And so I was like, this feels threatening. He's like, it's not a threat, it's an ultimatum. I think it's a fine line of tone of an ultimatum. Totally. An ultimatum versus a threat. So
even Saul, it's like how you approach me, it felt threatening.
Yeah, like, so even if I call it an ultimatum, I would feel cornered, like a cornered animal, and I wouldn't want to give it up. And he didn't. And then now Kishan's mentioning Rome's name. Like, let's turn the tables. But he tells Jen too soon.
Yeah, and he starts turning real manipulative, and he's enjoying being manipulative.
Yeah,
and they can tell that he let that out too, because he seemed like kind of like a real innocent kind of guy.
Yeah,
but when he started doing these plans, he's like, it seemed like,
I love it, and it's exciting, and I actually think his biggest mistake was trusting Jen immediately. She's been with Rome since day one, which is a smart move on her part. Like, they've been trustworthy to one another. So I just think he showed his hand too soon. I think he could have probably gotten Rome had he not gone to Jen immediately. He could have waited. I don't know. Like, I think he could have played that differently. And you're right. He probably showed a very manipulative side too soon. Like, how exciting.
He's like, I want to be evil. It seemed like.
I think it was always his plan to, which I respect, to manipulate and lie. But he jumped from nice guy, nice guy to right?
People icky feelings. They're like, well, if he's going to do that to him, he's going to do that to all of us.
Well, and look how likable, like, now he's got a double whammy. He's likable, but he's also very manipulative.
And smart.
I
guess not that smart.
Well, no, because then, let's talk about it. So then Jen finds out that Kishan actually threw her name out. Of course, immediately tells Rome. And I mean, Rome reasonably, because he thought he was working. I think he thought he was working with Keyshawn. Is furious.
Yeah. He can't even believe it at first.
And his what I found interesting with Rome, where I saw like sort of in like more to the inner him, because I think he's playing a lot of like off the cuff and he's trying to be like villainous in his way and push his way through. He was really hurt by it.
Yeah.
He even says that. So then who do we have telling him to work with Saul now? That was interesting too, right?
It's not who was it? I forgot.
Jen.
Yeah, Jen.
Actually.
That's right.
So now we have Jen, who I think is her strategy starting to show, like her strategic side. Let's get Keyshawn out. He's more of a sort of hidden enemy, whereas Rome is so bombastic, so brazen, although they can win it by doing that. But anyway, you keep him around. Well, someone's going to want to get rid of him, and she trusts him.
It just shows he does have a bit of a clue.
Yes.
Because he did, he did switch his mind up a bit, right? Like, because most people would be like, well, you're lying about that, if they're like that confident about certain things. But I guess he's more confident with Jen or something. But like,
I respected him.
It was a good move.
And the fact that like Jen went to Saul and Saul's like, I can't vote Keyshawn over Rome, especially after he had been kind of like treated very terribly. But he switched. That shows that Saul's got some strategic, and Rome apologized.
It was pretty ingenuine, but
I know, good enough though.
He did say something.
He said the word sorry. He said, I apologize. He did say like, I was disrespectful. He said it again at Tribal. Again, it was somewhat disingenuous because I think that his intent was what he did, but he did. I think maybe he realized to a small degree that it was too much. He'd still do it the same, but maybe dial it back a tiny bit is my hope, but we'll see. So because we get to try,
well, just because he thought he had total control over everything, and then when he finds out other people are throwing his name out, he's like, oh, I need to
humble pie.
Yeah,
little humble.
Which it shows a smart set.
Shows growth. It makes me realize he's not like, because I thought, man, he's just hammering through. He's gonna get himself kicked out sooner rather than later if he doesn't sort of cool his jets. Because anyone who's too overconfident to the arrogant level, there's a problem.
Now look at TK.
Yeah,
Romy and the Jets.
So Rome, good job. He even apologized again in front of Jeff. So then, it was such a good tribal. Like, and it wasn't a tribal of a lot of talking, right? It was more, I found anyway, it was more just the nuance of when Jeff goes to, right before they vote, when Rome goes up and steals Keyshawn's vote, the look on Keyshawn's face and Teeny's face, because Keyshawn and Teeny was absolute shock. They had no idea, which tells me Keyshawn particularly was overconfident, maybe arrogant too, just more quiet about it.
Yeah, and Teeny doesn't have a vote, and neither does Keyshawn. Yeah.
So
Rome's got 2 votes. It was a great move.
It was just, I love a good move. So Rome, you're winning, by the end of this, you won me over a little tiny bit because, and I mean, in terms of strategy, well done, sir. That was a killer move. And the fact that
I had the Tiger during that vote count.
He was just, he had
I don't give a crap. Yeah. He screwed me over.
And that's the best way to play though.
Well, it's a game.
He wants his $1 million. I would want my $1 million. Like, I don't know. I know I would get attached to people, but then I'd probably have you, like what you've said, like $1 million, Ange, $1 million. You have a family and home. So that was the best tribal. For me, excellent episode.
The look on his face, Keyshawn, he's like, I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't see that coming.
No, and
it was beautifully played.
And I have to say, he was a good sport when he did the interview at the end. He's like, it was a good move. They got me.
Because he was trying to do the same thing, so.
Exactly. But I like it when a player can respect the player, like the other player, right? Like
I could see them bringing him back, although Rome's probably the one coming back for 50. At this point, you're going to pick anybody?
If they do villains, like some sort of variation, you know how they've done villains and heroes? Okay.
Well, they'll have a good mix of both no matter what they do, right?
Nah, true. Rome is one of the best villains I've seen in a good long while.
Like right now, if I pick 2 that are going to go back to 50, it's Rome and that the yellow guy.
Sam?
Sam.
Yeah.
Those 2 right now, would probably like this. If they're gonna pick it right now, it'd be those two. We'll see them.
Let's give it time. Let's give
very
it time.
early in the game.
You know, Gabe, I think we haven't seen enough of the other tribes yet.
Well, it's all about the merge.
Wait,
like the merge is when you really get what's going to happen, because people are going to be switching up, and I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, he well played, Rome. You're winning me over. He's annoying, but he's
great TV.
Yeah.
Well done, Rome. Killer move. You deserve to be there right now.
And then Survivor edits it masterfully too.
Oh yeah, they did a good.
Because the first couple episodes they make him look kind of dumb and annoying.
And now it's like,
man, he's
Eye of the Tiger.
He's got some keen moves there, like that. And he's
the
brazen is so rare.
You're
Survivor. I hope it takes him far. I mean, it could bite him in the ass too, but
we'll see.
We will see on the merge.
So let's give it a score. What do you score this episode, Nick?
That's 4. Then we're doing it out of 5.
Out of 5.
Out of 5.
Yeah.
I just give it I'd give it a solid 4. It was good. I mean, it was a bit slow in parts. The chickens were stupid. I wasn't that big of a fan of the challenge.
I'm never a fan of the challenges.
But the move, the tribal, and the bit of drama, I'd give it a 3.8.
I'm giving it. That's a good score. I'm giving it a 4. Because I actually got excited, and it actually made me feel things.
It's the best episode of the season.
Yeah, I was up and down and all around. So I'm
They can get better.
Oh, for sure. That's why it's a 4
and it will.
And not a 5.
Yeah, it will get better.
So excellent episode.
Because when they do the merge, there's going to be a lot of dramatic people together. I want to see Rome and Sue work together.
That would be interesting.
You know, or Andy and
Rome.
Andy and Rome. Oh my. Hi, Rome. Hey, you dance good.
Like that. Oh my God.
You're good at rapping.
No, it's Sam who's good at rapping. Oh,
no, I know, but one did try and rap and he messed up so quickly.
Because Sam was rapping too. Anyway, so that's it. Thank you everybody for watching. As I said at the start, like, subscribe at this channel. Let us know what you think. If you want to see anything else, do you agree with our opinions? What is your opinion? Go check out Kayfabe Wrestling Talk and the Dirty Glass Podcast. Excellent, fun episodes with Nick. Like, subscribe, show your support over there as well. And thank you all for watching. Bye.
Bye.